Hey guys, it's Amari here, and I decided to do a little bit of a different video this time. So this video is just gonna be me sharing a couple of thoughts with you guys, having a little bit of a conversation, sharing some of my goals right now, some of the books that I'm reading right now, and I know a lot of you guys are into personal development, you're into self-help, you want to improve yourself in all areas of your life. It's not just about getting jacked, it's not just about getting all the girls, making all the money. It's also becoming a better person through this journey. So I wanted to share a couple of thoughts with you guys as often, when I have conversations with my friends, when we go out to dinner, when we just chill out a little bit, we get a chance to talk with them and we get to remind ourselves of certain parts of our journey, share some lessons, share some experiences. And I think that's one aspect that is a little bit missing on the channel because I often make videos and these videos are based on science, it's like pure facts, information, how-tos, how to crush it. And that's amazing. But it's missing kind of that free flow, kind of raw ideas and things that are just happening in my life. So I decided to make this video just to express myself a little bit and also get your guys' opinion on videos like these, and if you'd appreciate to get more videos like these. So we're gonna see about that. Just leave your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think? And a recent dinner where we talked with a couple of my friends that we're all in fitness, we're all training. They're a little bit less serious because for them it's a little bit of a side thing, and we reminded ourselves of how we got started, and these guys were pretty strong when they started. Some of them were doing like 135 on bench press compared to me. When I first started out, I was doing, I believe it was like the bar and about 15 pounds on each side. So not a lot, right? So that's when I first started. And now I was thinking, well, man, I'm doing that right now as the first warm-up set. And it feels so easy. In these 6 years of training, of putting in the effort, and really applying myself and learning, and with a lot of flexing and things like that. I like to flex a lot and do all these things. And it really reminded me how amazing it is to be a human being, right? How we are adaptive, we can adapt to anything. We can get better if you just put us in a situation and we practice. We start off really bad, we suck completely, we're horrible, but we get better with practicing. We just have to put in the practice. Now, a lot of people kind of, I guess, forget this, how amazing it is to be a human being. You can take on anything right now. You can start playing a saxophone, you can start playing a guitar, you can, start your own blog or start writing a book. You probably will suck in the beginning, but after a while, you're gonna just get better and better. And it's fascinating how our minds are so adaptive to that pressure. You can basically shape our minds to be and do whatever we want. And that's just an amazing thing of being a human being. Is really about adding that stress to yourself and improving yourself. And that's kind of what gym is, right? Gym is, how do you improve? Simply keep adding weight, and your body just has to adapt. It's making you stronger, building more muscle. Very similarly to, let's say, you restrict calories, your body has to compensate, it has to adapt, it has to burn the fat for energy. It's very, very fascinating. So we're adaptive creatures, and that's kind of, at least in my opinion, one of the most fascinating things about being a human being is that adaptive component, that thing that if you actually apply yourself and if you put in the deliberate practice, you're gonna get good at something. And that's, we can't guarantee that you're gonna be the best in the world, but you're gonna get pretty damn good if you apply yourself. If you just started learning about nutrition, maybe like you're kind of, oh, it's confusing, like all these macros and all these things. Dude, if you continue in a couple of years, you're gonna know so much, you could write a book. And that's such an amazing thing as a human being to be. There's been some crazy study where I saw is that people, when they actually go to a concert and they listen to music, and their brains are actually wiring different neurons and unwiring certain other neurons, so they enjoy music more toward the end of the concert than in the beginning of the concert. So it's even like within the same hour and two of like doing a certain activity, you're just more and more enjoying it because your brain is adapting. Similar to food, when you kind of eat the same food, your brain just kind of develops the taste for that type of food. Rarely any of us, you enjoy spicy food when they first try it out, but then eventually kind of learn to love it. A lot of people will say this about drinking, and they try a beer for the first time, probably sucks. But then eventually you kind of get into it. It's such a fascinating thing how we're so adaptive. And I think that's really one aspect a lot of people forget is that you kind of have to consciously direct your attention and your practice into some stuff that is going to make you successful. Because as much as this makes us the best creature that, I mean, is known so far, I mean, it's really it's amazing to be a human being, and it's probably our best trait of them all, that we're so adaptive. We can survive in any environment. If you just put us, we're going to figure out a solution. But that's also our kind of our biggest fault as well, because if you not consciously take control over what your brain is becoming good at, it can actually become good at some behaviors that are not leading to success. So stuff like, I don't know, if you procrastinate, you actually become pretty damn good at procrastinating. So you become better at procrastinating. So your brain's plasticity, as they like to call it in psychology, in this amazing book that's called Brain That Changes Itself, your brain plasticity is actually working regardless of whether the behavior is good for you or bad for you. So stuff like, I don't know, your negative self-talk, you just become better at that negative self-talk, and it becomes harder to actually unwire yourself. That's why breaking bad habits is so difficult, because your brain is wired to do that habit. And often we do that habit we don't even get the benefit of it anymore. Maybe you like to bite your nails, and you used to do that as a teenager because, you were nervous, and now you're not even nervous anymore, but you're still biting your nails just because you're doing that, just because your brain is wired like that and you didn't unwire it. And it's kind of fascinating that our best trait of adaptability and becoming better at a certain thing is also a worst trait, because you see that a lot of people are actually becoming masters at things that are not making them successful, versus other people who are kind of consciously working, putting that deliberate practice into things that are making them more successful. So it's really about becoming more conscious where your energy is going toward, and what are you practicing. Because even if you think you're not practicing, your brain is actually practicing, right? So it's very fascinating that anything you're doing actually is either making you better in that skill, if you're of course applying yourself and challenging yourself a little bit, but also anything that you think when you're not doing anything, that's also training your brain to be exactly that. So one famous psychologist that I was actually listening to his podcast and reading about this stuff, is that when he says that even in your off time, if you're training yourself to be distracted in your off time and trying to multitask different things, that is translating to you when you want to be focused, you can't focus, because in your, let's say, downtime, when you have the weekends and when you're like just not really working, you got used to using your Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and 15 other things at once. And now when you try to turn that off and switch on your focus state, you can't do that, right? So super fascinating. And a book on this, if you want to learn more about that, from Cal Newport, is called Deep Work, right? How to actually do deep work, how to eliminate distractions in your life. Super fascinating. So that's some of the stuff that I've been reading on just recently and learning more about psychology. That's kind of my, I guess, second passion when it comes to, I guess, fitness and nutrition is really huge. But I'm also looking into behavioral psychology, learning how the brain works, because as a coach, that's actually the most important thing, because I have to know how to change behavior. Because I know what's the quote-unquote best diet, and I know what's the training plan that's going to get you there, but also it's about learning how you can make that habit change, how you can change your life, how you can change your identity, how you can become that person who's applying this stuff consistently. That's kind of what I'm fascinated with right now, because a lot of people, I think, scientists in me, I love to kind of debate what's the best diet, whether it's like optimizing a little bit. And of course, we can get the best, quote-unquote, best diet for a person. After a while, we can customize and find the best one. But it's really about how can that person make this consistent in their life. And that's one of the most fascinating fields of research and science of motivation that I'm learning more about right now. And that's something that is, I guess, getting me up in the morning and looking at how I can influence positive change in people's lives. And aside from that, some of my current goals are actually, I'm lean bulking right now. I'm in a lean gaining phase, so I'm looking to gain muscle because I've been pretty ripped this summer. You guys probably noticed. I'm going to put up some pictures here. I'm pretty ripped, I'm shredded. I got to a very low body fat percentage. I kept it. I maintained for a while. And I'm pretty happy with my results in training. I believe that this is literally the best shape of my life right now, and it's really all those years of working hard. I mean, as a natural, I still look, I mean, in a shirt, you still don't see that I lift. But when the shirt goes off, I mean, it is actually, when people see you who haven't seen you in a while, they say, holy shit, man, like you look great, right? That's a really good compliment. How you can know is that some people that know you from before, now when they see you, they give you the compliment. They tell you, well, man, you look really good, right? And that's kind of how you know it. Because when I look at myself in the mirror, I don't really notice that much of a change because it's always happening so gradual that I don't really keep track of it, I would say. But if someone else sees you and they're like, wow, you made a lot of progress. And that's why when I come home every 6 months, my friends who lift, they actually notice this stuff, and it really motivates me every time when I go there to show up a little bit better. And shout out to these guys, they know who they are and they're watching these videos. And that's what's really motivating me right now, is getting that lean gaining phase and really putting on some solid lean muscle for next year. And I'm not even sure if I'm gonna compete next year or do something more serious, like step on a stage, but I wanna improve my physique. I've been in a caloric deficit for an extended period of time now, and it was really tough to hold my mental focus, and in my work and my relationships, everything was suffering because of that caloric deficit. But I got shredded in the best shape of my life, which is always pushing that boundary one step further than last time. So I think now it's a really good time to kind of backtrack because I was in maintenance, and I'm going to push the lean gaining a little bit and really get stronger up until my next cut, which is probably going to be sometime next year, beginning of the next year. So I'm planning to really take it slow, take it easy, take it step by step, put in the reps, get stronger, get better in gym. I have a lot of travel planned, and a couple of new countries, as always, every month a new country. That's kind of my goal as well. As soon, I'm probably going to run out of countries, so I have to see which countries I can go to, because actually making videos is very limiting. I don't know if you guys see when I'm uploading 4K quality videos, it's limiting because you're limited in which countries you can go to, as the internet can be quite slow in some countries. So if you're uploading, let's say, a video 4K quality, and it can be like 4 or 5 gigs, and that's really right now one thing, like primary thing I'm looking for when I'm going to a country, is how good is the internet there. And it's really limiting me to visit certain places because of the internet. So I'm thinking maybe I can go back to 1080p for a while and then go back to 4K when I'm in a different country. I have a couple of conferences that I'm attending as well with researchers in the fields of fitness and nutrition, as well as certain conferences that I plan to take in more in the psychology angle, with motivation, behavior change, and things like that, and really expand and learn about these areas of my life. As well as, my coaching is going really, really well. I want to thank all the guys who applied for the program. It's fantastic to work with people hands-on, a ton of great results. I'm going to be a little bit more on point with marketing, so I can post all these testimonials. I'm just gathering them right now, and I'm just slacking on marketing. A lot of people, applying. Fantastic to work with people, and as a coach, I get more satisfaction from someone else getting better results and getting great transformations than myself. I know I can change, and I know I can improve, but when you actually see that massive change in someone else's life, and if you've influenced that as a coach, that's one of the best, absolutely best feelings you can ever have. And that's one reason why I got into this YouTube thing as well, is because I could probably get clients as a coach online, with just a small blog and a couple of articles, but with a YouTube channel, I get to spread the word. I get to change lives. And it just recently, I always hear these horror stories and people's families and different types of illnesses. One of my best friends right now, his father actually had a heart attack because, his father was smoking. He wasn't really paying attention to his diet. He was eating a lot of processed food. And he actually had a heart attack. It's really bad. And these kind of things really, I guess every time I hear this, one part of me is very, very sad that this is happening, but the second part of me is like, okay, I can make this happen less frequently. I can influence the world, and that's one reason why I'm making these videos, and I want to keep making videos, that one day, if I can prevent at least one situation like this from happening, I've done my job, right? And that is my biggest motivation, is to teach good health, teach good health habits. And it's really not about getting ripped and shredded. I mean, that is, of course, I mean, a great goal to have, and I love being ripped and shredded. But we have to think, like, if you've already been in the gym, if you're already exercising, and if you're already like at that level where you're pretty healthy, getting to that next level is actually a lot easier than, let's say, taking someone who's been, I don't know, decades of bad habits and really influencing them. If you ever try to like tell your parents to eat a little bit better, I mean, come on, it's really, really difficult. And that's something that I'm learning now as well, how I can influence people that have been, let's say, investing decades and decades. As I said, your brain is just learning these bad habits, and it's really difficult to change them. So now I'm learning more how to actually do that change, like that huge change. Because for us, I mean, guys, if you're in your 20s, in your 30s, you can crush it. In your 40s even, you can crush it. Let's say you're in your 50s and you have like 40 years of bad habits. It's crazy difficult to change that. Like, it's crazy difficult, right? And it's possible. I've had clients, I've worked with some clients, and I'm seeing that it's possible to make that change. And that inspires me to do this channel and to help guys in the 20s and 30s really, really nail it, get to that ripped, shredded, ultimate physique, like looking like a Greek god. When you take off your shirt, people are like, wow, man, like you look incredible. But also that second aspect of people who are super, super busy with work, with business, with crushing it in their lives, and they want to take their health serious as well, and they want to improve that area of their lives, but they're not sure how to incorporate all of that with all the mess that is happening, like all these things that are happening. So that's one challenge for me as well. Is that's why I'm putting a lot of personal development content out there, is stuff like, how do you make better decisions, and how do you become more productive, how do you become more successful in life, how do you set goals, right? These things are all important. It's not just about getting ripped. I mean, it's about really becoming that person who has all the areas of your life handled and is on top of everything. You know, you're simply on top of things. You know, it's being a boss. You know, when you meet someone who is at that level, when that person is crushing it, I used to blush because one part of me knew I was slacking, you know, I was procrastinating. And that always, like, that energy, when I felt it, when someone is really crushing it, played a big role in my life, because I would be motivated for crushing it the next couple of months. And then again, I would go to a conference or a meeting or meet up with someone who's really on point in one area of their lives. And I would be like, I'm so missing out. And that's one reason that I want to put out so much great stuff out there, that it just forces you, when you see that people are crushing it, people are succeeding, you have to do it as well. And that's kind of one aspect of this whole thing as well. And as far as books, as I said, I mentioned the book A Brain That Changed Itself. Amazing read if you guys are like into neuroscience and how your brain actually works, which is very fascinating for me. A couple of other ones that I've been reading. I mean, the Power of Habit is a really great book from Charles Dewey, and he has a new one as well, Smarter, Better, Faster. Not exactly sure if that's the exact title of the book, but I'm going to leave it in the description below. I've been reading the biography of John D. Rockefeller, the Titan. Very, very fascinating book. Actually made me a lot more focused in my business and really taking things more seriously and guarding my time. Very, very fascinating from that. A couple of other things. I mean, I like to reread the book called The War of Art by Steven Pressfield, because every time I feel like the resistance to create videos, that book really gets me back in line, and I'm like, okay, I have to do this. And as I mentioned, that book from Cal Newport, Deep Work, very, very fascinating read, and I would highly, highly recommend you to check that out. And if none of these, I mean, if all of them are too long for you, one read that I recommend every once in a while is read the book The Flinch by Julian Smith. I think that book is really, really good, because it's just a couple of pages, about 30 pages, but it really pushes you to take action, because you have to take action when you read that book. It's like, I have to resist that flinch. I'm gonna do the cold shower, you know, I'm gonna jump into it. The resistance that I'm feeling toward this is not the bear that's gonna eat me, not that emotion that I'm getting right now out of fear, but it's actually that emotion that used to keep me alive, but it's now hindering me from succeeding in today's world. An amazing book. I mean, The Flinch, available for free. You can just check it out. I think it's still free on Amazon. If not, you can just Google it. I'm going to leave a link in the description below. I'm reading a lot. I mean, I'm gonna link my Goodreads profile as well in the description below. I mean, there's 500 books there. It's constantly being added, uploaded, and updated with my books that I'm reading right now, so you can just jump on that and follow. So that's very exciting. So just wanted to share a couple of thoughts with you guys, just a conversation, you know, and it's not a very specific video in a sense that, oh, here's the science, here's how you can apply it, you know. Sometimes it's just about chilling out and really sharing a couple of thoughts, and my brain is like all over the place. Almost all my free time that I have, I actually like to read books, which is really nerdy, and I do like to spend some time socializing as well, which is awesome. I want to spend some time with people around me, but as well as I like to learn. You know, my brain is really hungry for more and more, and I feel like through learning I'm just becoming a better person, and I can also make better videos. I hope this resonates a little bit with you guys. If not, if you didn't stuck through this, it's fine, it's cool. You can still get value out of those scientific videos. But if you're here, if you're still listening to my voice, let me know in the comments below. How do you like this type of style, like this type of video, this style of just a conversation between guys, girls, wherever you are right now, and just sharing some thoughts, sharing some ideas. So let me know in the comments below. Aside from that, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I mean, if you haven't done that, come on, like hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.